EU's callous on Iran says we are discussing additional sanctions. And Callas says they aim to finalize the 20th Russia sanctions package in February.
All right, let's put our chart on oil, CL. We're getting close to rollover. Oil is still on February. Arthur, I think it was a good breakout with a move down first. All right, first things first, oil reverse continuation, setting that up, changing the breakout to a reverse continuation. One position, a target of 20 and a stop of 20. That's how we set up our oil reverse continuation in the morning. We label it oil reverse continue, and we trade it in our funded open oil account, and we turn it on. Then we have our range trade on oil. Right click the chart, click strategy, and I'm going to load my template in. Click news trader, go to template, go to load. And it's under oil new open, or oil new open range. Right click it to rename it, put the date on today, load it, that saves it. And our range trade. All right, the range ends at the top. Trade type is a range trade.
Reminder 5 minutes to
End
trade
the
US
range
Red Book year on year. Prior, sell spot
90040.
1%.
90040. Position 1 is a 1, position 2 is a 1, one target of 8 ticks, target 2 is 20. The stop's on 15, but I reserve the right to make it a 20. All right. If I feel the stop should be a little bit bigger, I'll make it a little bit bigger. And target 1 stop move is BE minus 4. The range starts at 859, one tick above the range, one tick below the range. Show the range graphics on chart is checked. And then we're trading this same account, oil open account. It is labeled CL range. Apply it and OK it. And our oil trade is ready to go. YM. YM, I'll put my reverse continue back on. So we'll put a reversal continuation on the YM with a couple of contracts for the open. Target is 35, stop is 35. And I'll trade that in number 32 and I'll label it YM. Oh wait, did I have the problem in 32? That's the account I had the problem in. I won't use 32. I'll use 33. I think that's what I did wrong on my RTY. 33. And then I'll label it YM, reverse continue. So we have our reverse continue on the YM, target of 35 and a stop of 35. Oil is selling off a little bit at the moment. Apply it and OK it. And then normally this time of day on the YM, we do get a magnet opportunity, but it already did a magnet on the news. Not really a magnet, it just made a new high on the news. Let's watch the price a little bit. If it goes up from here, we may have a little bit of room to take the magnet. I'll put the magnet on because maybe it'll test the new low and we'll have some signals. So let's put the magnet on for the YM. I'll target the high of day, low of day. Percent proximity is a 3. Position size 1 is a 1 and -3 is the target. And then position size 2 will make a 1 and 15 will be our target. If it goes through the price, our stop will be 35. You need a bigger stop on the open. I'll use a 50 stop on the open. High of day signals, you guys don't have that yet. And we will label it YM magnet. Now there is a new home sales. Probably just going to watch and look for a move after the news because they're releasing 2 new home
Surely expecting the
reports
US Red Book to weigh in.
simultaneously. There's been no new home report for like 2.5 months. And we don't have a very good setup for it, honestly. So we'll look for something after the news is released. It's been a trap. It's been a breakout. Um, I just don't have a good setup. It is what it is. The government shutdown, the report itself isn't a very good, hasn't been a great report to trade. So I think new homes at 10 o'clock will look for a move after the news. That's my goal with new homes. So we'll deal with that after the market opens. And 33 is our YM account. Apply it, okay it. When we turn on our magnet, okay, we have a valid magnet right now. On the upside, we don't have any structure because the YM has made highs and lows this morning.
5.7%,
So
5.7%.
right now I'm gonna watch. I'm not sure I'm gonna automate it. Okay. Usually we do in the morning, but I'd rather not get filled on the YM until we get closer to the open. So we'll keep an eye on it. We'll keep an eye on it. Arthur, you're showing. Now, it did go up and then it pulled back a lot. It pulled back a lot, Arthur, but we would have had a big stop. It would have had a big stop. We would have used it, and that's why I was concerned about the RTY on CPI because of where you might have gotten filled and then the pullback. That was the issue. So, Nitin, on your RTY, what was your stop? What stop did you use? Yes, okay. That makes sense. You used a bigger stop than we were recommending. I think our stop was 50, right? Was it 50 or 60? It was 50 on RTY. And yeah, our testing showed it did need a pretty big stop. No, there was not a stop. The stop might have come into play depending where you got filled because it went up and down. Remember the way it moved. First it jerked and went up, then it went up a second burst and did a big pullback. So the worry for some traders, what if they were filled at the top of that burst up? Then it did that big pullback. That's why you needed a big stop. Then it exploded up. It was multiple moves on the RTY. Let me go over the oil trade for everybody once more. our oil range trade. It's a range trade. Go down to range trade. You're going to start the range at 859, one tick above the range, one tick below. Show the range graphics on chart, and then go up to the top. It's a range trade, trade type. End the range at 90040. Position 1 is a 1, position 2 is a 1. That just means one contract for each target. You could trade more. Remember we said maybe we would trade a second contract on position 1? Target 1 is 8, target 2 is 20, and the stop is 15. And target 1 stop move, I use break even minus 4, BE minus 4 if I hit my first target. That's the trade that I've been using. Anybody who really believes that the CPI is lower or the same is living in a fantasy dream world. Try to buy a pizza. Try to buy a cup of coffee. Try to buy a roll of paper towels for the price you bought them a couple of months ago. Not going to happen. Just not happening.
US effective federal funds rate unchanged at 3.64%.
All right, so oil's going to open at 9. Oil's going to open at 9. CPI actually traded a lot of breakouts, Roz, this morning. There's the oil opening. 10 tick range at the moment. Not huge. Not
ECB
huge.
settled 246.8 billion euros in corporate bond purchases. The ECB bond holding under PEP 1.42 trillion euros as of last week, and the ECB settled
Just take a
1.859
look at your
trillion public
grocery
sector
bill,
bond purchases.
right? Isn't that an honest look at how inflation is? You look at groceries, clothing, um, utility bills, all of
Order
that stuff.
submitted.
All of that stuff gives you an honest view of what's going on, I think.
The ECB says forex reserves fell 800 million euros to 330.3 billion euros.
I am going to make my magnet automated at the moment. I think if price goes back up, it'll break the
Order
high.
submitted.
Okay, we're filled on our oil trade. It's really cold today. Philly's in a state of shock over the Eagles. What a disgrace, disgusting football season. Disgusting is the only word I could use. I don't know how coaches can be so dumb. I mean, it's so obvious all season what the problem was, and they do the same dumb things. Roz, I honestly don't use the platform at all. I would think on Google, if you Google Rhythmic Pro, there's probably some videos on how to use it up there. I honestly don't use it myself. I'm guilty too. Totally guilty. It is a horrible platform. I hate it. Absolutely hate it. I'm looking right now.
JP Morgan CEO Diamond, speaking on an earning call with analysts, says impact of card cap would be very dramatic.
The risk of trading futures and options can be substantial. If it's your first time opening payments, you will have to sign them in order to see real-time data. You can find them under File, Agree.
Here's one you could try, Rod. It didn't look too bad. Now, the oil stop, shouldn't it be under the VWAP? I'm putting mine. And the order is frickin' frozen for 10 seconds. 10 seconds. All right, so we're just watching, really. Uh, Gonna have to set up the MNQ shortly, or NQ, or whatever it is that you're trading on the open. Whatever you like to trade.
JP Morgan's Diamond says we have to rebuild Apple Card tech stack embedded into JP Morgan.
Not
The
not
diamond comes from a
loving the
2-year
direction
integration
of
with
this
Apple's
oil
credit
trade
card.
at the moment. Not loving it. Not liking it. Not even liking it. Not liking it at all. So I put my stop under the VWAP. That's a pretty strong sell-off. So the question is, will we survive this oil trade now? It would have been a stop if you didn't move your stop below the VWAP.
JP Morgan's Diamond says the macro outlook in the short run is pretty positive.
I think we've been in big trouble in oil this morning. Did everybody move their stop under the VWAP? Will it matter?
Diamond says deficits will bite eventually, and geopolitics is a big risk.
Order filled.
Well, that didn't work this morning. I'm not in the mood for this morning. I don't mind telling you, I am not even slightly in the mood to have a trade not work. Not even slightly. So the range trade is a stop. Now it went 3 ticks below the VWAP. 3 ticks below the VWAP. I'm getting my NQ chart ready. I'm really aggravated this morning. Oil is still quite bullish this morning, but our stop was pretty darn big. Was it big enough? I don't know. Was it big enough? Look, right under the VWAP, right under the VWAP. So
Order submitted.
I'm willing to take a second trade with a stop below my original stop and see if I can get some of that back. That's a scalp, a one contract scalp. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Now, I could have, your signals are in your favor, okay? Signals are barely just in your favor. Not a lot of volume. So it's one position. Give it a shot. And now MNQ for the morning open. So putting the chart MNQ 0326. Oil may not be going my way, folks. It may just not be going our way. Nope. All right. We have 20 minutes for the open. MNQ setting up, reverse continue. Changing the breakout to a reverse continue. And we'll look for a 40 tick target, 75 tick stop. And we have our market open account that we trade that on. And I'll label it MNQ reverse continue. So our MNQ reverse continue is set up a 40 target, 75 stop.
Order
And
filled.
frickin' oil. That's it for oil this morning. Not moving up. As bullish as it is, it's now selling off. So oil will have to live for another day. I'm ultra aggravated that I didn't trade the WASD report yesterday in my funded account. We traded it cash and made a nice amount of cash, but I didn't trade the soybeans in the right account. I'm just aggravated with myself. All right, MNQ. I'm going to be looking to take reversal signals on the MNQ when it makes a high or a low. I don't care which one it makes, but I'm going to be looking to reverse whichever one it makes this morning. So I have a reverse continuation set up, but I'm almost more interested in our signal system to test our signals. But you can take the reversal signals without the signal system. They're easy to read. So I am going to set up our breakout, which we do every morning. We have a breakout. I'm going to load the template. MNQ. MNQ new open is what we call it. I'm going to right click it and update the rename, the date. Today's the 13th. Load it. I've never traded wheat. Nitin, what's the liquidity like? I haven't looked at the first thing I would look at is the liquidity, and haven't bothered with it. Obviously, everything would have had a great move on the grain report yesterday. When you get a move like with every, it's like a breakout for all grains, if you know what I mean. Our breakout on the MNQ is 929.59 with a 40 bracket. And I'm going to go for a 40 target and a 100 target. And this morning I'm going to do a BE minus 10. See if we can't stay alive in this trade if it hits our first target by not moving the stop as close as we've been moving it after it hits the first target. Stop is 125 ticks. Trading the open with the MNQ. It's already labeled because I loaded a template. I'm going to put the time on 0 and put the charts on sim and look at the bracket.
Order submitted. Order canceled.
And I'm going to highlight the bracket and get rid of the show vertical line. I don't want the vertical line. I'm going to put our time back to 9:29:59. No, I traded cash, Author. I wasn't worried about blowing up an account on Wazi. I traded cash. That's like one of my favorite trades. Corley Grains has a great opportunity. So 9:29:59 bracket activation, 40 bracket, targets of 40 and 100, and a stop of 125. Update the account. Apply it. Okay it. Update the account to our funded. And we need a we have our MNQ reverse continue and we have a breakout. So I am going to look for signals though after the open. All right, YM has been pushing up. Would have been a very nice VWAP VWAP magnet, in retrospect, it's always easy to see what would have been the best trade. And the YM was a great VWAP magnet. Look at that. Because we were down here when we first put our trade on. It was 10 minutes to 9. And it's a double magnet, VWAP with the market open. I can't believe we didn't do that. That was the trade to take this morning. That was good. That was a good one.
Voice news disconnected.
All right, so MNQ, I guess the markets, do you think the markets will be bullish because of the CPI news when they open? All right, so we have about 10 minutes before the open. Now you can trade a pullback of the YM to the VWAP. You could take your high of day short order. You could move it above the VWAP if you wanted to. And if the YM tests the VWAP, right, it'll fill you. What we see very often in the morning, however, is these nice swings on the YM where it gets to the high and the low. Or if it's in the middle, we see it, choose a direction and make the trade. That VWAP is a high probability retest.
China to offer Canada canola relief if Carney lowers EV tariffs.
All right, so we're just waiting now. So we've got a YM set up. We have a YM magnet set up. If the orders go 15 ticks through the magnet, that's our second order. Otherwise, default -3 on the first target. Graybeard, I just saw your message. Hello. Hello. Good morning. There are people on YouTube, believe it or not. Oil definitely is not trading as well as it had been. There's no question that our oil trade is struggling. Same to you. Good morning. The oil trade is struggling. That's absolutely true. Right now, the markets, we're just waiting for the open. I didn't forget about 925. I'm not so sure I'm all that interested in trading it. We'll see if there's a move this morning. Oh, oil popped up. Well, it was bullish before the open. And then the open looked like it was going to hit the first target, and then it failed. So we took our lumps.
JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon says the bank building more payment systems and building more AI systems.
So you could see the NQ gets a little more energy right at 925. You could see it starting to pop up a little bit, And then it pulled back though. All right, so we're just waiting on the open, folks. We have 4 minutes. We have 4 minutes. We've had so many good oil trades. To have it be a struggle is very frustrating. Our the account is 50,956. So it was up over 51.5. It was over 51.5. So you have to keep an eye on the drawdown. You don't want to hit that drawdown. Two and a half minutes till the open. Very big drop there. A quick drop on the NQ, MNQ. Not seeing any specific news or anything. All right, one more
1
minute
minute remaining for
for
the
the
market
open.
on open imbalance. Trump says just out great low inflation numbers for the USA. That means Jerome Too Late Powell should cut the rates.
It's maybe Trump making a comment. Great inflation numbers. Powell should cut the rates. He'll never stop. He will never stop. Never.
Ten seconds.
10 seconds for the open.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
Market on open imbalance. S&P 500
Not
buy
sure I
side
wanted to be
130
filled
million.
short, but we
Nasdaq
were.
100 buy side 0.5 million. Dow 30 sell side 7 million. Mag
Definitely
7
not
buy
sure
side
I
2
wanted to
million.
be filled short. If it hits my
Global
first
real
target,
GDP growth seen at 2.6%
I would be
this
pretty
year, according
happy.
to the World Bank. The World Bank raises global economic outlook growth for 2026. And the World Bank says 2026 global GDP growth to reach 2.6%, down from 2.7%
Trying to
in
get that
2025
first
as
target,
tariffs
not
weaken
getting it.
trade. The World Bank says 2026 GDP forecast a 0.2 percentage point stronger than June forecast, and 2025 forecast
No,
0.4
in trouble.
percentage point stronger.
Order
The
filled.
World Bank says
God
the global
darn it.
economy has proven more resilient to shocks, but growing at a pace insufficient to reduce
Okay,
poverty.
the open didn't
The World
work.
Bank says at
I
the current
think
forecast
I
pace,
am
average
going
global growth rate
to.
for current decade will be the slowest since 1960s.
I'm not doing anything yet. Watching the YM. Watching the YM.
And the World Bank forecasts the US
Watching the
2026
YM.
growth rate at 2.2% versus 1.6% in the June forecast and 2.1% in 2025. The World Bank forecast the 2026 euro area GDP growth at 0.9% versus 0.8% in the June forecast and 1.4%
So
in
no signals yet
2025.
because it hasn't
And the
made
World
a
Bank
new
forecasts
high or a
2026
new low.
China GDP growth at 4.4%
It's kind
versus
of
4% in the
just,
June forecast and 4.9% in
I
2025.
wouldn't say chopping
Furthermore, the
around,
World
but
Bank
it's
forecast average crude price at
chopping
$60 per
around.
barrel in 2026, down from $69 in 2025 as trade impacts weaken demand.
Not really a clear direction at the moment. I'm going to turn off my MNQ breakout. I'm not going to trade it again. So my MNQ breakout is gone. YM almost filled short. And then the MNQ, it's hanging above the VWAP at the moment. It's pretty far from both the high and the low. 046. Definitely feeling the long side is the better side. Let's see if it holds the view up. The YM, I think, is going to fill short. Doesn't look like it's going down with a lot of power, though. And then the MNQ, it's really just chopping in this area here. It's just chopping. Roz, what was your target on MNQ? My MNQ target might be a little big. YM, everything is
Shares rise
MNQ
3.3%
now
to
looks like it's going to go
52,003.
test that high. I'm tempted to take a long for a test of the high.
Order submitted.
And I'll put my stop below the 6 p.m. open. Come on. Give me a test of the high. I don't really think I want a test of the low on the YM. It's just, I'll probably let it trade because the setup's there. So really, where should the stop be on the MNQ? It's got to be below the view up. It has to be. That's where the stop has to be.
We have posted the World Bank Global Economic Prospects January 2026 report on the feed for those interested.
The
Order
YM
submitted.
fills. And the question is, will it? I'm only thinking one target on the YM. And every trade that I took this morning went against me, virtually every trade. MNQ trying to move up. YM. Isn't it weird how the market knows your entry? The market always knows exactly where you entered, and it just tortures you by moving around in that
Order
area.
filled.
All right, so we had two nice scalps on the YM this morning. The magnet worked. All right, the magnet did work. So now I'll just put signals on. High of day, low of day signals. So it's possible we will get a signal long at some point. I don't know if I want to take it on the YM. we have a nice profit on that trade, on those two trades. Eventually there will be a YM signal. You'll see it. So just watching now, see if the MNQ can push up towards the high. Now, you can move your stop so that you don't lose any money on this trade and bring our target closer to the high and trail now, right? Now I'm going to bring my trail pretty high up. It should make the high, don't you think? It should get close, but it's got a lot of chop left in it. Go make the high. That would be nice. We'd make most of our money back on the open. I think
Order
we've,
filled.
all right, so we wound up losing $68 on the open. I think I just trailed it too tight. It's going to make that high. It's going to make that high. But I'm not going to chase it now. I'm not, I've gotten my trade. I
Shares of
trailed a
US
little too
processors
close.
fall
Watch
after
it make
JP
the
Morgan
high.
CFO warns credit card rate cap could hurt US consumers and
It's
the
going to make
economy.
it.
Mastercard
So
down
we
3.5%,
made
Visa
money
down
on the
2.1%,
MNQ
and American Express
over
down
400. We
0.9%.
lost over 400 on
Capricorn
oil.
sets new daily record on
We
gas sales
lost
to China in the
68
January
on the
month.
MNQ open. And CPI, we did the one scalp. There's the high. So I just trailed too tight. Trailed too tight. So that high is open. So I'm going to now, final event of the morning, final trade. Now, the YM, I wanted to watch for signals. So let's see, there should have been a signal. Let me see what happened here.
Meta has suggested AI glasses capacity over 30 million units if demand. and Meta seeks doubling of AI Ray-Ban capacity to 20 million units in 2026. And Meta and Essilor Luxottica
Hang
intend
on,
to raise
folks.
AI glasses capacity, with Essilor Luxottica near current 2026 target for 10 million Meta capacity.
I'm glad I got out of the, well, the MNQ, I'm struggling with my YM trying to see why it's not working properly.
Donald Trump on Truth Social says
So hang on
Iranian
one
patriots
second.
keep protesting, take over your institutions, save the
Pretty
names of the
choppy.
killers and abusers. They will pay a big price. I've cancelled all meetings with Iranian officials until the senseless killing of protesters stop. Help is
Francis,
on
you
the way.
stayed in your oil trade all this time? You'll have to tell us
Seeing
what the
upside in
setup you're
WTI
using.
crude off the back of that Truth Social post.
Hang on, I just need to take a picture of something. We're going to go over to gold and look and see what happens with all right, I'm putting a gold chart up. New homes are at 10. Hang on one sec. All right, so putting
Oil
my
Business
left
Professor
chart on
predicts Trump
gold.
cancels meeting with Iran.
GC 0226. Gold now up over $22. I'll put a simple reverse continue on gold. Reverse continue, one position, 30 target, 30 stop. Simple gold reverse continue. And we'll trade that on number 33. That's the account that we were trading the YM on. What we don't know with new homes, I don't know how the news is being released. There's two reports coming at once, they're saying. So it's very unusual. So let's put the news up. So oil going up because of Iran comments that Trump is making.
Spot gold hits record high.
Gold at record highs. Record highs. It's unbelievable. It's pretty crazy. All right, so gold. Let me put the news up. So they've made their information now takes up double the space on investing.com. Just a total waste of space. Terrible, terrible upgrade to their screens. Now gold gave a reversal signal, but it's very, very bullish. You got to be extremely careful. And it's before news, and the news is going to move gold. It's going to move gold. And the YM, I feel like my signals are not working properly.
At 10 a.m. Eastern Time, we have US new home sales. Forecast 0.715 million, prior 0.8 million. US new home sales change month on month. Forecast minus 10.6%, prior 20.5%. Also expecting
All right,
comments from
there
Fed Jerusalem,
is
who speaks on an
the YM
MMT
long
webcast about
signal.
economic policy and the outlook. No text, but Q&A is
It's
expected for
down
the moderator.
270 points. I'm not rushing into anything. I'm just looking to see if gold does anything on new homes. That's what I'm looking for. Um, I don't see it as a very good magnet because it just made new highs after new highs. There was a little bit of a reversal. So right now I'm just going to watch with a reverse continuation on. I'm just testing some things while I'm waiting. Watching gold. We'll see what new homes is. Normally, I would have been considering trading new homes as a trap, possibly. All right, folks. I am actually doing something because I'm trying to figure out what the problem is. See how there's a signal now? And I had to take the strategy off the chart and restart, and I shouldn't have to do that. All right, so waiting on new homes to see how it gets released. Look at that, wound up being a great signal. Wound up being a great gold signal. The YM, not a great signal. Was not interested in taking it because the sell-off was very strong. It was just a little bit too strong for me. Francis, I like what you've done with that. It's double the stop. Obviously, our stop is too small on the oil trade right now. Right now it is. Yes, Graybeard, gold made an all-time new high and now it's selling off of that.
Alphabet shares hit record high after at least two brokerages raised
I'm just wondering how many
price target
countries
on
we're
the
going to
stock.
go to
That's
war
up
with.
2%.
It seems like we're going to go to war with every country.
In 5 minutes' time, we have US new home sales forecast 0.715 million,
Iran, we're going to go
prior
to
to
war
0.8
now,
million.
and
US new
Greenland,
home
we're
sales
going to go to
jobs month on
war.
month forecast minus
A NATO ally.
10.6%, prior 20.5%. Also expect comments from Fed's Muslim, who speaks on a MWN webcast about economic policy and the outlook. No text, but Q&A is expected with the moderator.
So, new home sales, they're showing it on investing.com as if they're only going to do one report. But on Forex Factory, it's showing something I've never seen before. September data, and the current data. So you've got September data, delayed 81 days, and you've got the current data, delayed 40 days. So two reports releasing at once, and it's been 80 days since it's traded, and we don't have a reliable setup for this event. We can't possibly have a perfect setup for every event. It just doesn't work that way. And these markets with the shutdown have been very tricky sometimes to find a setup.
The
Sometimes you have
S&P
to wait.
500 Banks Index hits over 1 week low,
Sometimes
down
you have to wait and
1.4%.
let a news event trade a couple of times before you can figure out if it's back to some sort of normalcy. They're releasing two reports, Arthur. September data and the current data. We've had a trap trade on new home sales. I'm not dying to blow up a prop account on a trap trade. An unknown 9, 59, 55. And I would do something like 25 and 50 on the trap. And I'm willing to go crazy here. I'm willing to go crazy. Um, so I'm making my tiers bigger. All right. And I'll take a shot because I'm a nut. Let's see what happens just for fun.
1 minute
It's
remaining.
a
Upbeat
prop
on US
account.
new home sales.
It's got some profit in it right now. So I'll give up my morning profit to see if a trap trade works on new home sales. Let's see what happens. 25 and 50. $25 and $50 on the tiers, one position on each. Stop is like 27. Let's see what happens. If it doesn't burst, I'll probably cancel it.
10 seconds.
Now, existing homes tomorrow, we do a trap trade.
Order submitted.
0.737 million, 0.737 million, higher than the forecast.
Not really a big response to the news. Not the kind of response I wanted to see. So it's chopping around. I'm just going to cancel it because it's not the kind of move I wanted to see. We're really just trading the gold move. It's not moving from the news. Okay.
Order canceled.
So if we would have gotten a burst, I would have left it. Now, new home sales are better than expected. They are better than expected by about 20,000, 27,000 it looks like. Now you're getting a move down. So maybe it would work. Maybe it would have worked. It might have worked. Now it doesn't seem like they released two reports, so I don't know why the calendars have been getting it so wrong lately. They've just been very, very wrong. The candle down was 50 ticks.
Over the weekend, a US official said Trump is expected to meet senior advisors on Tuesday to discuss options for Iran.
If it keeps moving down, so it would have been a short fill on the trap, a long fill on the trap because it went down, but it's not reversing. All right. We're not getting a reversal.
Says he expects the economy to grow at or
so not sorry that I canceled it because gold made a new high and then it does appear to be selling off. So I'm kind of glad I said if it didn't burst, I would cancel it. I think
Muslim says inflation closer to 3% than 2%, but anticipate it will
if times were normal, I would say that was a move from the news. But my gut feeling is that might be more of a news from the high than from the news itself. But we're not getting a reversal. The amount of movement was pretty big.
Muslim says policy is in a good place to react in any direction.
It was over 110 ticks. So that would have stopped us out of the trap trade.
We have posted the US
that would have stopped us.
October 2025 report on the feed for those interested.
And it's still heading down.
Muslim says, I supported the December rate cut because I saw slightly higher risk to the labour market. moderating risk
All
of
right, everybody.
inflation.
I'm pretty much done here for the morning.
Muslim says the risk of inflation persistence is still with us.
Francis, I guess we shall see how it plays out, right? We'll see how it plays out. I'm certainly not in favor of taking the area. Certainly not in favor of that. All right, everybody on YouTube, thanks for watching. We'll be streaming again tomorrow. So appreciate you joining us. Hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you on YouTube tomorrow.